New Albany's Romeo Langford took part in the adidas EuroCamp from June 9th to 11th last week, and Romeo had quite a good showing for the U.S. Path team. The U.S. Path team went 2-1 in the event. They were playing against European competition, 18 to 22-year-olds, many with club experience at a high level. So it was a good showing. Overall, Romeo had a good production. Romeo had good production. 14 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal and a half per 32 minutes played. Overall, very good numbers for Romeo. One thing I did want to talk about was his ability to score in small spaces. Small, tight. It doesn't seem like he has a window to score, and then boom, he gets his hips even or past the defender, elevates really quickly without having to gather himself, and boom, scores around the rim. I think he has shown this time and time again at the high school level, and then for him to be able to do this against bigger, stronger, more experienced player is a good sign for his future. He's going to be able to do this at least at the college level, and more than likely at the NBA level as well. That led him to shooting 60% from 2-point range. Overall, 52% effective field goal percentage. Good offensive rating at 113. That's higher than the team's 107 offensive rating. The one downside to his offensive game was his three-point shooting, only 25% over in Italy. And this has kind of been one of his main weaknesses for the past year. He has not shot at a extremely high level since his sophomore year in high school. I think part of that is shot selection and the types of shots that he has had to take at the high school level, at least. A lot of times he's going one-on-one, shooting over a defender's hand. Still makes a ton of shots, but he hasn't been able to take that leap to an elite, spot-up shooter. A lot of these opportunities over in Italy were wide open, catch-and-shoot opportunities with his feet set, and he just wasn't been able to knock him down. At the NBA level, I think that's going to be more important for him, at least early in his career, to be able to get on the floor and to score consistently, is those spot-up opportunities, especially corner threes, where he needs to get it off quickly, but he's going to have his feet set, shoulders square, and knock down the shot. If he becomes a second or third scorer in the NBA, then he's going to need to come off screens, be a little bit more off balance on his shots to be able to knock him down still. But at this point, I think he needs to be a really elite spot-up shooter. It's just not there quite yet. Obviously, still a great shot maker, but that is the one weakness to his game so far. And then I wanted to talk about his defense. He put up some decent numbers. I thought he was better than these numbers actually indicate while watching him. He moves well, really. He moves really well laterally. He has no problem moving his feet. His length at 6'10" wingspan really makes him tough to get passes around. He does a good job of anticipating passes and contesting all sorts of passes. The next step for him is to be a little bit more physical, kind of in-your-face defender. Obviously, he's not an emotional kid, not an emotional player, so he's not going to have that edge to him, but he's still so good laterally, so long, that he can be a really good on-ball defender. I think he'll be able to guard a point guard or two, possibly threes in the NBA, 1, 2, or 3 maybe. Obviously, more times than not, he's going to be guarding a shooting guard. And when that comes into play, while guarding off the ball, on the ball as well, but Romeo's got to do a better job of getting over screens. He got caught up a ton on screens over in Italy, where he's just not getting his hips over the screen. That's something he needs to work on as well. He just has not been in that position very often. He's usually been able to be more athletic, longer, just overall better than the guys he's playing against, so he hasn't had to focus on getting over screens very often. He would just meet him at a spot, block their shot, or steal the ball later. But again, overall, very good showing for Romeo Langford. Just looking at these stats here, not a dominant performance, but average to above average performance. If he knocks down a few more threes, then you're talking about a dominant performance from Romeo Langford at the adidas EuroCamp. So a lot to build on for Romeo.